Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded, Season 2, Episode 36. Too much time on my hands. I am so excited tonight to be here. So much to unfold. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there. Ron, how are you?
I'm doing great. Got my cup of water all set and ready to go.
Cup of water ready to go. I always get thrown off with our song because it's like it speeds up, it slows down. I don't know what's going on, but I'm ready to go. So let's start off with our leadoff story, and we're going to discuss last night, NFL kickoff. The Buffalo Bills dominated the defending Super Bowl champions 31-10. What did the victory show you overall about both teams?
Well, it shows that Buffalo was fired up and ready to go this season, while the Rams were just going through the motions, to be honest with you. I don't think they were ready. Obviously, most of them didn't even play throughout the preseason, so they were clearly not ready.
Yeah, I looked at it a couple different ways. I said, first of all, the Josh Allen MVP campaign has begun.
Yeah.
297 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 56 yards rushing, a touchdown, a nasty stiff arm. So, I mean, he's just taken it to another level. We saw what happened in the playoffs against Kansas City and kind of how they felt like it was one of those things where they should have won it, didn't win it. I feel like mentally they're so prepared this season, understanding that they didn't have the opportunity last season to get to the Super Bowl. They're not going to let it slip this year. They're going to get the number 1 seed. I can't see any team, honestly, not that they'll go undefeated, but honestly, they're maybe a 2-loss team in my eyes if they stay healthy. Then you got to look at – oh, go ahead.
No, well, I mean, you know, they do play some good teams out there. So, you know, I think I had them at 13-4, looking at their schedule, and you know, I'm pretty comfortable with that. I picked them as the number 2 seed, you know, and I picked Cincinnati ahead of them because, to be honest, Cincinnati has a better schedule.
Yeah, I just feel, look, they're on a mission. They're on a mission. You know, there's talk about OBJ possibly going there as well now. So they're going to add to it. Stephon Diggs. The fact that they beat up on a team that went into the raising of the banner, defending champions at home, and they annihilated them. Look, if Buffalo didn't have 3 turnovers early in the first half, the Rams couldn't stop them. They couldn't get them off the field. Third downs. There was no. I think they were 9 for 10 on third
but
down.
You also have to look. They raised the banner. They got the rings. You know, it was. I seen this many times. The team that gets that generally sits back. That's why it's so hard to you know, repeat. Hasn't been done since the Patriots did it.
You get flat. You get stagnant. You become a team that feels like, you know, everything's gifted to you, and it's not. The teams, we said it during our NFL preview show, which if you haven't seen, check it out. Phenomenal show. But you have to say that, honestly, they have a target on their back. They have a major target. Every team's going to play their hardest to want to beat them. The loss of Von Miller was evident yesterday. You saw what he did for Buffalo. Aaron Donald couldn't get off those blocks because he didn't have another guy that could create the pressure. Yeah. On offense, Allen Robinson II, we thought he was going to be a great addition. 1 catch. Stafford didn't even look his way. I mean, Cooper Kupp, the poor man, was fighting for his life. That's all he was looking for.
Yeah. Like I said, look, they weren't ready. They weren't ready to play. and not playing much in preseason, if at all. I'm not even sure he played any. But if you're not in there, you're not going to have, any kind of chemistry. And I don't care about practice. That doesn't do anything. It's game time that matters. So not having this rapport with him, where's he going to throw it to? Cup.
Yeah,
That's what he's going to do. And Buffalo's ready for that. They're too good of a team for you to do that. You're not going to get away with it.
Right? Number one defense last year, and they showed it again. 7 sacks, 3 takeaways yesterday. I don't think they gave up 200 yards offensively.
Yeah, and what Buffalo did last night was give everybody a blueprint. This is what you got to do. Yeah. If you don't have the personnel to do it, you're not going to be able to stop them. Period.
I hate saying this, but I'm going to say this. It may be a little controversial, but it looks like the Rams' Matthew Stafford now is looking like the Detroit Matthew Stafford.
See,
that's what I saw yesterday.
That either. Like I said, they weren't ready to play. This is what happens when you sit out your guys all through the preseason games. So they're not in there. They don't have a clue of what they're doing yet.
How much did Buffalo play their guys, though? Honestly, it's the
probably
same
not
scenario.
Much.
It's the
probably
same
not
scenario.
Much, but they came ready.
It's a coaching error on Sean McVay's part, not getting that team ready, and he said it. But
I know he did.
You saw that team look like they were scared, look like they didn't have an idea or an identity of what they are or who they want to be. That can be a telling sign for the season. If you can't find chemistry with certain players, if you can't run the ball, if your offensive line looks like it fell apart, you lost one guy. Yeah. Whitlock retired. It looked like the entire offensive line.
It's like you trying to go out there and replacing me.
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
I'll
first say what?
Anybody else would come in, they wouldn't be ready for the show.
Wouldn't be ready.
I was fired up.
You were ready. You were prepared. You wanted to talk about the Buffalo Bills, who are in our division, and New England doesn't stand a chance this year. That's how I look at it. But it's going to be pretty interesting. The question is, what do we need to see from the Rams? They're going to bounce back. They play Atlanta next.
Well, I mean,
so they should win.
Terrible.
It should be an easy win. My question would be, we have to see them dominant, correct? Because if they just win, say it's a 24-20 game, do you start to question where the Rams are going this season?
Because I still think that they will get better as the season goes on. And I still think that they need to find themselves, something outside of Cooper Kupp. And, so you're going to be just looking to do the right things, next game. Let's get the win, but just show, you're not going to turn the ball over. You just got to do the simple things right, move the ball and get down the field and score some touchdowns. Just keep it simple.
Yeah,
treat it almost like a preseason game with the starters playing the whole way.
McVay's got to coach better.
Yes, absolutely.
Continue to run the ball out of the end zone yesterday, putting yourself, 15 yards or less. You can't do that.
No.
You're not going to win games if you're always playing, an 85-yard field versus just take the 25. I don't understand. There were so many different question marks that I just am surprised at how poorly they played. It wasn't that they lost. It's how poorly they played. I agree with you, though. But clean some things up, but they've got to look good against Atlanta. If it's a close game and it's still ugly, but, obviously they have more talent.
Well, it can't be ugly. It can't be ugly.
You know what I mean? If they don't go in there and at least look solid, like they've cleaned some stuff up, I would start to worry after week 2. It's still too early. And Buffalo, I'm not going to anoint them the champions yet. What I will say is this. I truly think that if they stay healthy, they will have a dominant season this year. What happens at the playoffs, who knows? But there's a very good chance this team, again, I could see them losing 2 to 3 games and being.
You'll know what happens in the playoffs if you watch that NFL preseason, the preview show. Then you can know. You'll know.
You'll know our picks.
Because we got it right last year.
We did. So let's talk some more NFL. We're going to bring up your boy, Zach Wilson, who's going to miss at least the first 3 games of the season. Do you think the team's starting to have doubts about him at quarterback? This is why they're sitting him?
No, because he's injured.
Well,
And better to make sure that he's okay.
There's a lot of speculation, though. He's trying to come back this week, that they felt from a physical standpoint, he was going to be able to play.
Yeah, but they're going to hold him back because they need to make sure that he's ready. The team is not going to risk it. They're not going to risk it. No. They're not going to risk the biscuit.
So 3-10 last season, 55.6% completion, 2,334 yards, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He still hasn't technically played a full season. 17 games would be a full season. Now you got him sitting out some more. I start to question that move of not allowing him to play sooner or setting a timetable already. Like if he was week to week, it makes more sense to me. Why the 3 weeks to 4 weeks before he returns? I question that move. It doesn't make sense to me. Is he that injured? Because according to them, he could have played this week. But we're going on the side of caution. So it's a 3-week caution now on an injury where he possibly could have played this week.
Well, we're going to see what happens with Flacco, right?
Yeah. So what happens? Joe Flacco goes 3-0. It's not going to happen. But if Joe Flacco goes 3-0, in this imaginary world with the unicorns and the kitties riding them with the guns blazing, when that happens and Joe Flacco's 3-0, does Zach Wilson return at that point?
No.
This is why I question it. I don't understand why it's not a week-to-week thing, and it's 3 to 4 weeks before he returns.
Look, I mean, they don't want to make it worse. So
you don't have that schedule, do you, in front of you?
The Jets, I kind of do, yeah.
I thought they had a tough Flacco AFC North revenge.
Yeah, they got Baltimore in week 1, so that ought to be interested.
Flacco going against his old team. That's what.
Yep.
AFC North revenge tour begins.
Yeah. Then they play at Cleveland.
Okay, so they could win that one.
They could. They
won't, but they could. 1-1. They probably lose to Baltimore.
Well, yeah,
possibly. Who knows?
And then they host Cincinnati.
Okay, 1-2. All right, never mind. Never mind the unicorns in the
at best 1-2. At best.
If they're 2-1, do you continue to play Flacco?
If they're 2-1, I do, because 2-1 would be really a miracle.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I have them going 0-3 to start.
And Dwayne Brown, who they just signed to a 2-year, $10 million contract, probably getting put on the IR, injured shoulder during practice. He was to replace Becton, who's out for the season. So left tackle, their offensive line is going to be in trouble as well.
Yeah, that's why they're going to be bad.
I don't know, my friend. I don't know.
No, it's going to be a long season for the Jets. So just saying it now. But if you want to see what I predicted them to go, NFL you might want to watch that.
Yeah. The NFL preview show. I know Manny was on there. So, Manny, thank you for all your support. Ron, each week
we're going to North revenge, Flacco.
Each week we're going to discuss the New England Patriots because they're our local team. We'll do a pregame breakdown of the matchup coming up for that week. So this week they are facing the Miami Dolphins. Your thoughts on what should transpire, what you're looking for against the Miami Dolphins this week?
Look, I don't care what the team looks like on paper. New England always struggles in Miami.
So you ready for this? 0-3, their last 3 matchups. So with Tua as their starting quarterback. They haven't beaten Tua yet as Miami is their starting quarterback. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games in Miami.
Yeah.
And there was a certain quarterback, I don't know, he won, a few Super Bowls that even that stat applies to. They don't play well in Miami.
Yeah.
It's a known fact. They went down early this week. I think they left on a Monday, and they've been down there all week to try to, acclimate themselves to the heat. I don't know if that was such a good idea either.
So
I think
that
it's a
one win was a Tom Brady win.
No, they won. I think a Cam Newton. Cam Newton.
Did they
beat 'em.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. How about that?
Cam, bring him back, baby. Mac Jones in the last 2 games. So his last game, last season, 49 for 69, 552 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. What are you looking for from Mac Jones?
Not to throw 69 times. Like that would be bad.
So establish the run game. That's the strength of the team. Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. To me, that's a big key defensively.
Look, when you're throwing too much, a team like Miami can feast on that, and it's only a matter of time before you make a mistake. But if you're going to limit those throws and you're going to run the ball where they're better, you can dictate what you're going to do at any moment, because you can't just say, okay, we're going to run the first time and then we're going to throw it on the 3rd down. You can't do that, because every team is going to be ready for you. And we saw this last season, and that caught up with them towards the end of the season.
Yep.
You can't be predictable. So, there's going to be times where you have to run the ball, and there's going to be times where you have to throw the ball on 1st down, because you can't be predictive. If they know you're going to run, they're going to put 8 men in the box, and you're not going to go anywhere. Period.
Last season in Miami, we lost 17-16. In New England, 33-24.
Yeah.
So played at least a better game in Miami. And
right.
I remember there was a late turnover. Damian Harris, I believe, fumbled in that game on the final drive and ended up costing them the game. Something new we're going to bring to you each week with the Patriots. We'll give you an injury report. So currently, Isaiah Wynn, who's been on the injury list, should play. Said most likely he's definitely playing on Sunday. Jacoby Myers limited in practice, and Ty Montgomery limited in practice. So there'll probably be more game time decisions. Only real injuries for New England right now, which is good.
Yeah.
So they're going in pretty healthy. We'll have to see how it all turns out, and we'll give you a Patriots post game after the game on Sunday. So, Ron, another thing we did last season with the NFL, because we're so excited about the NFL season, we always do our games of interest for the week.
Yeah.
So what games are you most looking forward to this week?
Okay, so I've got Cleveland at Carolina.
Right? Baker Mayfield versus his old team. If you are a football fan, how are you not wanting to see what happens in this game?
Yeah.
It's one of those games where you go, it's too fresh with Baker Mayfield. So it's not like, hey,
Absolutely.
he's been going for a year or two. It's too fresh.
Yep. Las Vegas at the Chargers.
Have the same thing, right? AFC West, Broncos versus Seahawks, Manny. Yes, we're getting to it. That's definitely one of our games as well. But yeah, right, the Raiders, the Chargers, we keep talking about the AFC West. We get our first taste of which team is going to take an early lead. I know it's week 1, but these games are going to matter. You lose this game, one of these teams, you're already in the deficit in your division. So, no, that's a great one.
I have Kansas City at Arizona.
It could be a very interesting game. I didn't have that one, but I can see, the dynamics of it.
Yeah, I didn't
Kyler
have
Murray.
The Denver-Seattle one.
You don't have the Denver?
I just think Denver's going to roll them over.
Russell Wilson returning to Seattle.
I know, and he's going to destroy them.
It's that Baker Mayfield mentality. Same thing. It's still fresh.
Yeah, the quarterbacks are going to get the advantage over the team.
I think
in
they
both
should.
Those cases.
They should. I would agree with you on that.
And Tampa Bay.
Hey, there it is.
At Dallas.
Yes. And can I say this? It's because I want to see more of which team is honestly going to struggle this season. They both got beat up offensive lines, but there's a lot of questions. Dak again now possibly injured. Tom, is he mentally prepared? Right. There's so many questions with these teams. And to me, this week 1 matchup might show some signs. Ron, you called it. Mike McCarthy you believe will be on the chopping block by mid-season. Games like this matter for him right now. He loses a game like this at home to a team that's possibly a Super Bowl contender. What happens to the coaching staff in Dallas?
In actuality, I have McCarthy getting fired after the first playoff game.
Oh, so you got him going through the season.
I got him going through the
I
season.
thought you had him. Which
No.
coach did you have getting? Tune into the NFL preview
Tune into
show
the NFL
to find
preview
out.
show.
To find out. So excited. Any other games you have on the docket?
Nope, I only had 4, believe it or
Okay.
not.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
have some of the games that I thought were, old players going back, and it just the team is just bad.
It's still going to be a fun Sunday. So excited football is back. Let's move on to our triple play, though. And we're keeping with this NFL theme. This is episode 36. So we decided 1986, 36 years ago, these 3 players led the NFL in sacks. That would be Lawrence Taylor, Dexter Manley, and Reggie White in 1986. We will decide which one we start, bench, and cut. This was a little more difficult for me than I thought it would be. I know you're going to, it's always easy. Everything's easy for Ron. But
it was way too easy. Like, it was clear.
I am going first this week. So I will start Lawrence Taylor. The dynamic.
Why do I know you were going to do that?
146 sacks, 9 interceptions. 2 of those he ran back for a touchdown, 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, 2 Super Bowl wins. I still think he's one of the most dynamic defensive players to ever play the game. I will say that in I think 86, he actually had 20 and a half sacks that season. I would bench Reggie White, 198 sacks, 3 interceptions, 13 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, 1 Super Bowl. And I obviously loved what he did, but I felt like he couldn't make Philly better. He had to go to another team to win a Super Bowl. Dexter Manley, I would cut. His numbers just weren't as good. 103 sacks lifetime, 2 interceptions, 1 Pro Bowl, 1 All-Pro, 2 Super Bowl champions. He dominated in 86. I felt bad because he actually had like 18 and a half sacks. That was the same year Lawrence Taylor had 20 and a half. So it was just like he was in an era with such great linebackers, Lawrence Taylor being one of the best ever. So that's how I saw it. Manny had starting Taylor. So LT, bench White, cut Manley. So you had it like I had it.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Manny's predictions. He follows you too much, and
4-1 last.
You're always
Manny.
wrong.
Good job.
You're
4-1
always
last
wrong. Look, Reggie White is the starter.
Yeah, because he.
Okay, first of all, what?
Go ahead, give me
56 more sacks in his career, and you can't say, "Oh, well, it's because he played more games." Well, Reggie White played more games, and he had less games without a sack than Taylor. So you look at the numbers, 34 games. So if you average it out, it's 34 games less than 1 per game. Okay. Lawrence Taylor was 42, and he played less games. So right there, Reggie is going to bring more sacks all the time. He also had 20 fumble recoveries while Taylor had 11. And granted, Taylor had 9 interceptions. Reggie White only had 3. So, he got him on that. So that's the one stat that LT beats him on.
Okay.
So if you look at the Pro Bowls, Reggie White, 13 Pro Bowls, Lawrence Taylor, 10. They both had 8 All-Pros, which is probably the better number of the 2.
Yeah.
Because that means you did better than everybody on your team. I mean, on the league.
Yep.
The one thing Lawrence Taylor did do more is he won 1 more championship than Reggie White. So it's 2-1 there.
So I want to ask you a question. What team did Lawrence Taylor go to win those championships?
What do you mean? What team did he go to?
Exactly. He didn't. Reggie White couldn't win a championship with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that defense was stacked. because he wasn't as good as LT. LT could do it with the guys he had on his team and won a championship 2 times with the New York
You're
Giants.
splitting hairs here.
I'm not
You're splitting hairs. You're splitting hairs. You're
No
trying
hairs
to.
being
You're
split.
trying to just
Look at my hair.
turn
Looks
everything
great.
around.
My hair looks great. There's no splitting hairs.
Mine is perfect. See?
Yeah, you look amazing. You lost your hair with that pick.
No.
Reggie
Look,
White ahead of Lawrence Taylor.
Reggie White
You're
is
off
ahead
your
of
rocker, my
Lawrence
friend.
Taylor. I'm telling you. You just produced more. 6
I think
defensive
you better
player
check
of the
water. I
years.
think somebody spiked it.
Look, he won 6 defensive player of the years. Lawrence Taylor 3.
Lawrence Taylor also had a better defense around him that these guys took some numbers. Carl Banks.
Okay.
Carl
There
Banks.
you go. You just said it yourself. He had a better defense around him.
Yeah, it's and teams still focused on him.
Oh my God! So this made Reggie White even more important. Like
Absolutely.
you're not seeing the big picture here.
I see the big picture. You're wrong.
Anyway,
again.
Dexter Manley gets cut. I'm right. You're wrong. Like usual.
Absolutely ridiculous. Poor Dexter Manley, though. How we got?
Yeah, he was not.
just
He
got blown
was
right
not
up
a
in his
factor.
hand. Yeah,
He
great
was not a
job. Yeah,
factor.
you stink. All right, let's talk some NBA. And so interesting move here by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Why is it interesting?
So Montrezl Harrell, 2-year, $5.2 million deal, but he plays center forward. And he was also the 6th man of the year in 2020. I'm looking at depth. I'm looking at Joel Embiid and his health. And Joel Embiid hasn't been able to play a full season. The Philadelphia 76ers are trying to go all in. I know you don't think this is a key part, but if you're going to get guys that the teams that win have solid benches, hence why the Boston Celtics lost the championship this year.
Here's my thought. If you're the Sixers and you lose Embiid, your season is over.
Exactly. So
Harrell is not going to save their season.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you give now Embiid a chance to rest more because you got a guy that averages 13 points a game, gets 5.3 rebounds a game. So you're going to get some productivity from your bench where Embiid doesn't have to play as much. Put more wear and tear on. Give him time to sit the bench a little bit. Take a game off here or there. That's what's going to save them.
They had a good bench, but they gave it away. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, look.
These are the pieces that make a championship team.
Yeah, this is not a championship team.
Based
on their recent history, it's not a championship team. It's not. It's just
you're going to get a motivated Harden this season.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I believe that when I see it.
It took less money to make sure he stayed.
How much less? A couple of million? Really?
10, 12 million, something like that.
Give me a break.
You just don't want to give them the credit.
I don't. I'm not giving them the credit because they don't deserve the credit.
They don't deserve
the credit.
That's a very good move, a very quiet move.
It's an okay move. It's good, but it's not gonna be the move that brings them to a championship.
Got a better bench than Boston.
I don't think so.
Okay. Who's Boston's best player off the bench?
Well, it depends on who's starting.
Okay. So give me your 5 starters. So then they already said Brogdon's not starting. Marcus Smart is still your starting point guard.
Okay, so then he's going to probably be the best player off the bench.
Okay. A guy that hasn't played a full season in the last 5 years. So
doesn't make him a bad player.
So you count him off the bench. So he's not on the bench where you got the guy who won the 6th man award.
But you can't say he's not on the bench. He's not hurt right now, is he?
He will be.
I'm just saying, you can't say he's not off the bench if he's not injured.
So you'd rather have Brogdon than Harrell?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Who's your rebounder? Who's your big man coming off the bench for Boston?
Who knows at this point?
Exactly. They don't have one. They don't have
I'm just saying,
that can spell Robert Williams. Robert Williams is not healthy all season long.
Oh,
because again, now you're going to ask him to play more minutes.
You're first of all, he's a starter, so he's not a bench player. So he's not coming off the bench.
Exactly. Neither is Joel Embiid. But now you can sit Embiid more and give him rest. So in the playoffs, he's ready to go. Robert Williams is going to be hurt because he's going to have to play more minutes because they don't have a big man. That's why moves like this are important.
They'll have a big man. They'll have a big man.
Oh, now they'll have a big man.
They
Oh,
will.
wait. That's right. With the unicorns and the kitty riding them with the guns blaring, that same world.
Well, look at their roster. They already got one.
Who?
I don't know.
I thought you were looking at the roster. You made it sound like
No,
you were
I'm not looking at the
Boston
roster. I didn't think we were going to be talking about the Celtics today.
Well, there you go.
You have to compare everybody to the Celtics. You said championship.
Oh, you're going with the Bruins. Do not try to go. Everybody in the NHL is compared to the Bruins. I can do it with the basketball.
I'm just saying you want championships, so why are you not comparing them to that team in Golden State?
Because Golden State has a bench.
Right, they
have
do.
An established bench that beat the Boston Celtics because they had guys that could play. They could go 10 deep.
Exactly.
Boston doesn't have that, and then you let a guy like
either
this
does
go
Philadelphia.
for $5 million?
So Philadelphia is not going to win a championship. This is the point I'm making. They're not winning one. Not with this team.
Boston should have. This is why I say it was a sneaky move, because a guy like this would have helped Boston immensely. Because you already lost Bogdanovich now for the season. So he was your second key guy off the bench, and he wasn't a big man. So you're down to one bench guy. You're in the same exact boat you were last season, and yet you're going to come on the NBA preview show and tell me how Boston's going back to the championship. I guarantee.
I didn't say that.
They don't have a bench.
You don't know what I'm going to predict. I haven't looked at the whole team yet.
And a team like Philly just went ahead of them because of small moves like this.
The Philly did not go ahead of them.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Let's talk some Major League Baseball, because obviously you just don't.
What you got to worry about is Cleveland. That's what you got to worry about.
Basketball. Cleveland's going to be deep too. This is what I'm
That's
saying.
What I'm saying.
Boston do? Boston
that's what I'm saying.
The Celtics did nothing, and now they don't even establish at least a bench.
I'm just saying.
You need a bench. They don't have one.
I'm not comparing the situation with the Celtics and Philadelphia. I'm not comparing that.
Okay.
That's not the team I worry about.
Okay. All right. We'll see in the playoffs. Major League Baseball time. And these races are getting very tight. We're in the final month of the season. And there's 3 races that we're really going to discuss today. And
Wait, 3 races? There's only National and American League.
New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays, the Cleveland Guardians and the Minnesota Twins, and the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. New York is up 4.5 on Tampa Bay currently. Cleveland, 1.5 up on both Minnesota and the Chicago White Sox. The New York Mets, a half game up on Atlanta. Of those three races, which teams do you feel are going to take over and win their division?
Tampa Bay.
You're just saying it to spy. It's not going to work.
I'm not. I truly believe Tampa Bay is going to be the one that takes over.
So I need you to give me the reason why, because I've got a reason why they will not.
The reason is pitching. That's the reason. Pitching.
Strength of schedule, remaining strength of schedule. They're second overall in Major League Baseball. They have the second hardest remaining schedule. Winning percentage, .556 of the teams they're going to face. They got 6 games against Houston, 3 against New York, 9 against Toronto, 3 against Cleveland. The only easy games they have are 3 versus Texas, 3 versus Boston. They have a brutal schedule coming up. You're not beating Houston more than maybe 2 games if they get lucky. So that's
they've
4
already
losses.
Beaten them in a series.
They're not.
So why wouldn't they be able to do it again?
They're not going to. Here we go.
I'm just saying, Eric, you're not giving them any credit whatsoever.
The New York Yankees, 16th strength of schedule. 3 against Tampa Bay, 3 against Toronto, 3 against a Milwaukee team that's flailing. So we can't even count them as a winning team right now. 3 against Baltimore, 2 against Pittsburgh, 4 against Texas, 6 against Boston.
Homer.
I'm just saying, if you look at the numbers and you look at the
not
teams,
that easy. How is that easy?
You're playing Pittsburgh twice. They should win both of those games. They're playing Texas 4. They should win both of those. They're playing Boston. They'll probably split against Boston. But you're telling me now that Tampa Bay is going to split with Houston, split with Toronto.
No, I'm saying they're going to beat Toronto.
They're going to beat Toronto 9 games.
Probably at least 6 of them.
Okay. So that still doesn't put them ahead of New York because the same loss as New York, it still equal out as the Yankees would still win.
But it's going to come down to this series. I'm telling you, if Tampa Bay takes this series, New York is in trouble. They're reeling. Look, they don't have the pitching. It's plain and simple. They went out and got Benintendi.
Okay.
And where's he?
He's out.
Okay. They went out and got a couple of pitchers. And
everybody's out. Yes, I get that.
How are you not saying that this isn't a collapse waiting to happen?
Because they're out of the 3 races, they have the biggest lead. And they're playing the worst.
What,
they're playing
3-4 games?
Opponents.
3 or 4 games?
4.5.
I don't care. Look, I don't care if they're playing bad opponents. It doesn't matter. They're playing bad. Period. They're playing bad. And whether you're playing bad or not, you go in, if you're playing Boston, what? You don't think Boston's going to get up for that series?
Boston hasn't been for a series in a while.
Look, it's Boston. You don't think Boston wants to put New York Yankees out of that?
Red Sox right now, and I mean this. We're not talking about the Boston Red Sox.
I'm just saying the Yankees have to go up against Toronto. What? Toronto's not a good team.
3 games versus 9.
Yeah,
I would take that all day of the week. Even if you lose all 3, I could still see them losing 4 or 5 against Toronto.
Look, I think you're grasping at the hope that this lead holds up. I'm not sure. I think it's a good chance that they don't keep the lead.
I'm more worried about the Mets. I'm more worried about Cleveland in holding their lead than I would be about New York holding this.
I'm not worried about Cleveland holding their lead because, that division is not really that great.
1.5 games, but they got to play. So Cleveland's got to play Tampa Bay 3 times.
Yeah.
Minnesota 8 times and the White Sox 4 times.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to that Minnesota games.
The Minnesota and the White Sox series.
Yeah.
So you're playing 2 of your division opponents.
Right.
That are both 1.5 games out.
Exactly.
6 against Kansas City, 3 against Texas, 3 against Anaheim. So they got some cakewalks in there that they need to make sure they win as well. But New York Mets have the easiest schedule remaining.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give up that.
Half game.
Atlanta's a great team. Don't get me wrong.
3 against Atlanta, 3 against Milwaukee. And again, I don't count Milwaukee, even though they have a winning record, because they are just not playing good baseball.
I do. They have pitching, so you got
3 versus Washington, 3 versus Oakland, 4 versus Pittsburgh, 5 versus Miami, and 3 versus the Chicago Cubs. If the New York Mets can't win their division with that schedule, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Even with Scherzer out again. I just feel like in the playoffs, they're going to be one and done. I think they got too many injuries. Guys just they're getting hurt at the wrong time of the year now. You want guys getting healthier now and going into the playoffs. They're actually losing guys going into the playoffs. And
that's always been the problem with their pitching staff.
Yeah, you called that from the beginning, right? You were worried about it. We talked about it early in the year.
During the preview show.
Right? DeGrom going down, and then we said it with Scherzer. He's had a busted up season. Some of this is their strength and conditioning coach, the way they use these guys. I don't know. It's
the philosophy of the Mets. It's got to be.
Right? It's just insane. So you're going Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and the Mets.
Yeah.
To win this. I'm going New York. The Cleveland one I'm struggling with. I'm gonna go Minnesota. I'm gonna go Minnesota, and I'm gonna go Atlanta is gonna win the NL.
You know, it's funny. Is wait till predictions.
Yeah, whatever. All right.
Just saying.
So Ron took the lead.
No. That's not what I was referring to.
36 weeks. This is your first lead after 36 weeks, but we're gonna.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That was not what I was referring to.
Oh, okay.
But now that you mention it.
Yeah. Now that you mention it. Good job last week.
You did have a 6-game lead on me. Oh, wait. That sounds familiar.
It's face-off time. And we're going to discuss the new Major League Baseball rule for 2023. So next season, they will have a pitch clock. And the pitch clock basically, do you know how the rules work with the pitch clock, Ron?
I have no
Should
idea.
I explain it? So 15 seconds with no runners on base, 20 seconds with runners on base. The catcher has to be by 10 seconds in his position ready to catch. The batter, 8 seconds, has to be in the box and what they say alert, so ready to bat. Any violations result in a ball or a strike, automatic. So one of us has to be for this rule, one of us has to be against this rule. I am first. I get to pick. I am completely against this rule. And I'm going to tell you why. I am getting tired of Major League Baseball. Yes, we want to shorten the game. Yes, we want to do all these different things. The imaginary strike balls now call is going to piss me off because they already do it with the intentional walks. Now you don't even have to pitch 4 times to the guy. They just give him the signal. The guy takes a bag. Not even 4 pitches. And we've seen wild pitches on those. Sometimes things happen. That's gone. So now you're going to do the same thing as a guy's not going to even swing at a ball, pitch the ball, and it's going to be a ball or a strike. Why even bother then? Just have the guys decide, you know what? I want to hit a double this time, and we'll let him go to second base. Doesn't actually have to swing it. You know, every so often you got to tell them, look, you got to put a strikeout in there or a ground out. But let them pick wherever they want to go on the baseball field going forward. I got a single now. Oh, you know what? I got a home run. And just run the bags. Why even pitch the ball? Why even hit? Because we're automatically going to give guys, because 8 seconds went and the bat's not on his shoulder. Oh, he wasn't ready. There's a strike. Give me a break. Major League Baseball is just figure something out where, look, if they're not ready, they're not ready. You pitch the ball. If it's a ball or strike, that's on the batter. It's not automatic ball, automatic strike. It's ridiculous. We're taking the bat out of the hands. We're taking the ball out of the pitcher. It's all imaginary. It's again unicorns with the cats and the guns. I'm on this today. But
out of all of these rule changes, this is the one that actually makes sense, because I'm so tired. And I'll tell you, the Red Sox are notorious for being in there, fixing the gloves after every pitch, whether he swings the bat or not. Why are you fixing the gloves? Why? There's no reason to fix the gloves. They didn't go anywhere. Your hands didn't grow or shrink during that one pitch.
The guy's not ready. The guy pitches the ball. You throw it. It goes to strike. It's a strike.
I'm just saying.
Why does he automatically get a strike?
You have pitchers that are standing out there dumbfounded because they have no clue what they're doing.
Absolutely.
They don't know what to throw because they're afraid to throw a pitch. You know, throw the ball. Throw the ball. Let's get the game moving. I'm so tired. That is the one rule that they changed for the better. You know, let's get on the mound, get in the box, throw the ball, and go. Just go. You know, that is now the other rule changes are just ridiculous.
Like bigger bags. I mean, great. Why do you even have the guys steal? Just say, I want to steal. We made the bags bigger for you.
Yeah. Well,
no shift. I hate the shift anyway. To me, that's the best rule they did.
I'm not sure that is, because, you know, this day and age where a guy can't hit a ball, I mean, give me a break. You have an open side of the field. If nobody's on that whole left side, you hit it over there. That's it. Hit it over there. If you're good, you can do it. If you're not good, you shouldn't be in the league. Period. I'm so tired of seeing these 220 averages because they have to pull the ball all the time because they think they're Babe Ruth.
The shift. Batting averages will go up now.
Yeah, but you don't have to hit a home run every time. That is not what wins ball games.
Well, now you're not even going to get balls thrown, so don't worry about it. Nobody's saying a home run because they're not even going to throw a ball. They're just going to call an automatic strike. That's a strike. That doesn't have to throw the ball.
So big. Get in the box.
It's a dumb rule. If you're not in the box, throw the ball. If it goes over the plate, it's a strike. Sorry. Oh, I wasn't ready. Tough shit. Oh, there. Swear jaw.
See,
First
family
first
show.
One ever. Because you fire me up now. You pissed me off with the Yankee thing. You pissed me off with the Harrell thing.
See, you just can't handle. You just can't handle your team stinking up the joint. I've been dealing with it all year long.
Oh, here we go. Why? Poor baby.
I'm not.
FCC just called. Shut us down. Absolutely dumb call. I don't understand it. Get rid of it, Major League Baseball.
Baseball never gets anything right either, so.
That's a good call on that one, though. You got that correct. All right, let's talk some NHL. And the Vancouver Canucks have signed center JT Miller, 7 years, $56 million deal. How important was this for the team to get this deal done?
This was big. There was a lot of speculation he was going to get traded.
Right, last season, right at the trade deadline, his name was being rumored for several teams.
Everybody. But he is a very good player.
Yeah.
They didn't want to really give him up. And, seeing what they did with Boudreau being named coach and see what they almost got to the playoffs, which would have been amazing if they accomplished that. 5
points away from making the playoffs last season.
Right. So looking at that team, keeping JT Miller, this team is poised not only to make the playoffs, but maybe possibly win the division.
Now, look, best player on the team, 32 goals, 67 assists for 99 points last season, a plus 15. Ron, his shot percentage, 15.5. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good shot percentage. He led the team in points, goals, and assists.
Yeah, he's from top to bottom, every aspect of the game, he is good. Every aspect.
I truly think that last season we were talking about it right before the trade deadline, and you even said with Boston, right? You wanted Boston to try to go after him. Everybody was looking at him. Vancouver knew the value they had. They were going to see if they could make the playoffs, which they almost did. To your point, this season, new coaching, you get some better results. They make the playoffs this year. He's going to be the key factor. If they had gotten rid of him, they would be in a complete rebuild at this point.
Yeah.
So I like the move. I think that was a pretty good move. It just amazes me, too, though, the hockey payrolls. Like, these are some of the top guys that we've talked about, and you're looking at the money they're making, and then you compare them to the NBA or the NFL, and I don't understand where NHL needs – they're going to have to figure something out at some point to get these guys some more money.
That's plenty. There's plenty.
Compared to what some of these baseball players
they don't have the TV deal that, the other sports have.
Yeah. Major League Baseball, it's ridiculous. They shouldn't even have that deal.
No, they shouldn't. Because, they're holding on to third right now for major sports.
Yeah,
NHL is catching them. NHL is catching them.
Major League Soccer is probably going to pass Major League Baseball at some point.
I don't know about that.
Come on, Manny. Get on that. All right, my friend, pick and roll time. And we went back in time again for 1986. These players led the NBA in rebounding per game. Bill Lambert, Charles Barkley, Buck Williams, Moses Malone, and Ralph Sampson. We're going to rank them from 5 to 1, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best. Again, I am first this week, so I will give you the correct.
I got 3 5s and 2 1s.
And then here he goes. Already, don't piss me off again. I cannot afford to swear twice in one show.
Yeah, I don't know there's no way possibly you could have anybody than what I have at number 1.
Okay. So, at number 5, Charles Barkley. No, I'm just playing with you because I wanted to just see your face. Buck Williams, 12.8 points per game, 10 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 3 All-Stars, 1 All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive, which was pretty good. He made the All-Rookie team, and he was Rookie of the Year. I just didn't like him as much as I liked some of the other guys. At number 4, Ralph Sampson, 15.4 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 2.3 assists per game, 4-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, All-Rookie team. Better points, less rebounds, 1 more All-Star than Buck Williams. Neither one of these guys had a championship. At number 3, Bill Lambier, 12.9 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, 2 assists per game, 4 All-Stars, 1 total rebound champ. So he won the rebound crown once, and 2-time NBA champion. Still had to put this guy ahead of him, and that would be Charles Barkley at number 2. 22.1 points per game, 11.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 11-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA. He won a rebounding title once. He was All-Rookie and a 1-time MVP. Phenomenal numbers. But you can't put him ahead of Moses Malone, who averaged 20.3 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists, but 13 All-Stars, 8 All-NBAs, 6-time total rebound champion, won it 6 times, 2-time All-Defensive, All-Rookie team, 1-time NBA champion. Moses Malone, number 1 on this list. 1986, top rebounding per game. That's my pick and roll.
Okay. Number 5, Buck Williams. I don't have to give stats. That's the great part about going second.
You know, during Yahoo's translation, that might come out and be a different word, by the way. But go ahead.
What?
Buck Williams, when they do the little captions sometimes.
Yeah, but they're not going to put that on there.
No, they just put the little asterisk thing.
Okay.
Buck Williams.
Well,
Say it.
that
Buck
would
Williams.
actually apply.
Buck Williams.
Because, you still couldn't put up numbers better than a guy that played a third of the games. Ralph Sampson, number 4, played a third of the games as Buck Williams and still had more All-Stars.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely had injuries. Yeah, the knees.
He could have been higher
Yeah.
if he would have played more.
Yep.
And possibly might have been able to get some championships.
Yeah.
Number 3, Bill Lambier.
Agreed. Right. Far we're the same.
Look, this guy added more to the game than just the rebounds.
He was the bad boy. He created the bad boy Pistons.
Oh yeah.
He was the guy that initiated it all.
Look, and this is what you don't have in the league today, and this is why
you can't.
I always say it's a little softer now. Because, hey, if you're going down the lane, so if you take Chet, for instance, when he got injured by LeBron.
Chet? You just
right? No, I'm not getting off of him because he's Sean Bradley II.
Oh boy.
If he was Bill Lambier and LeBron is driving to the net, you think LeBron is going to make it to the net?
No, not against Lambert.
No. He would be on the ground, and Lambier would stand over him, and he would take the technical and love it. And it would fire up the team even more. Bill Lambier.
Number 3.
Number 2, Sir Charles. If Charles had championships,
yeah, agreed.
Just one championship,
yeah,
he would have been number 1.
6 total rebounds though for Moses.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it as a whole,
and then 2 all defensive.
I understand that, but Charles Barkley brings quite a lot to the game. Besides the rebounds, and he's only off by 0.6 rebounds.
Okay. Yes.
A half a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
But he does get 2 more points a game. So I don't know what that means in the real world, but he also gets 2 more assists a game.
That would be a basket in basketball terms. He makes 8 extra basket.
Yes, an extra basket.
Breaking it down for you as we always do.
Yes, and an extra assist on a basket. Actually, 2 extra assists. So it's almost like 6 more points in a game.
So basically, if you were playing in the NBA, you could get a basket and 2 assists. Good job.
Yes,
he'd be Ron.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Good job.
Yeah,
Moses Malone, number 1, obviously.
And then Moses Malone, number 1. But what you failed to mention, that he had 3 MVPs.
Oh, I must have missed that. All right.
Yeah, you must have missed that one.
Must have missed it.
So
I've Barkley not been perfect in the show.
Look, Barkley would have had to at least win 1 to make it a close one.
Yeah, agreed.
Without that championship, it wasn't close.
Agreed. And then Lambert with the 2, you put him ahead of the other guys.
Oh, so, absolutely.
No, it was good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But we had it identical.
Yeah, that's like the third time now. Doesn't happen too often. All right, it is prediction time.
Speaking of perfect.
Go ahead. Go do your brag thing for a little bit. Yes, Ron, after 36
I don't
weeks.
need to. The numbers are there.
After 36 weeks, you have finally gone ahead. Great job. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we've got to finish.
It is.
We've still got
finishing.
16 weeks to go. Manny, great week last week. Hopefully you're participating in this week. You went 4-1 last week. So really good opportunity there.
Nice job, Manny. Oh, that's because he went with a lot of my picks.
No, he did not. He went
Yeah, he
all
did.
over the place. Anyway, if you'd like to get yourself on the list, make sure you're tuning in live. When you join in live, give us your picks and we'll put you on the list. But
let me add this to the ticker. Bam.
We normally pick the top games of the week. So we don't do the easy games. We try to do the harder games here. So
yeah,
let's start right off with Tampa Bay at the New York Yankees 3-game series that begins tonight. I am going with the Tampa Bay Rays to win 2 out of 3. New York still hasn't shown me enough. They'll beat up on the bad teams, but they're not gonna beat Tampa Bay.
Where's my? I don't know what I did with my pen. Okay, I guess I can't write them down then. All right. I went with the Tampa Bay Rays as well.
All right. On 9-9, you got the Cleveland Guardians at the Minnesota Twins. Who do you have?
So this is what I was referring to when I said Cleveland would hold on.
Yeah.
I picked Minnesota to win the series.
That makes sense. I went Cleveland.
And you said they wouldn't. So
I'm saying strength of schedule. They could beat up Minnesota, but then they're gonna face some other teams that are gonna cause some problems for them.
Yeah.
Manny went with Tampa Bay. Manny Cleveland at Minnesota. MLS action 9-10. So tomorrow, the Nashville Soccer Club at the Los Angeles Galaxies. I have not gone wrong with Los Angeles. They have been coming through each time I've picked them. I'm going with Los Angeles.
I as well am going with Los Angeles Galaxy. So yeah, so we're the same on that one again.
All right. I know Manny's a big soccer guy, so let's see who Manny picks.
Is he really?
Yeah, I love soccer. Manny's a big soccer.
Maybe he should submit a soccer power ranking.
Hey, you never know. He's going tie. Manny comes through with a tie.
Oh, he's pulling a Ron.
Yes, he is. He goes tie.
Pulling a Ron. But I really, truly believe LA Galaxy is going to win by at least 2. So
let's 9-11.
Oh.
The Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
I'm going Raiders. Chargers have a lot of injuries.
It's okay.
Also on 9-11. Manny, let me know. I know you know football as well. Raiders at Chargers. He's going Chargers.
He's going Chargers. Yeah. He knows where to win.
9-11. Again, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys. I wonder who. Yeah, I didn't even get to say it. It already came up on the screen.
I also am going Dallas.
Oh, hold on. I didn't pick yet. Okay, I went Tampa Bay. But anyway, all right.
I was supposed to be first.
No, you picked the Raiders first. Or the Chargers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That doesn't matter.
That's all right.
Who'd you pick?
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Also on 9-11, we have the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. We will pick every Patriot game for the season. I am going Miami. We just haven't been able to figure it out. I didn't like the fact that they went down there early. I feel like it's head games now, and it's more mental than anything else.
I also am going Miami. Everybody's going to be riding high. Oh, 2 is great. 2 is great. You know, it's going to be a low-scoring game. And
late touch on Tyreek Hill.
No. Nope. Maybe a field goal.
Also on 9-11, the Connecticut Sun at the Las Vegas Aces. It's the WNBA Finals, Game 1. So the Aces have gotten in. The Sun upset yesterday Chicago. Sky went on an 18-0 run to end the game, to end up winning that, which is kind of crazy. But I am going with the Aces. I've stuck with the Aces. I love what Becky Hammond's doing over there. So I'm going. I really want to see her win this one. So I'm going Aces.
Yeah, I as well am going the Aces.
All right, my friend. Also on 9/11. A lot going on 9/11. NASCAR, Hollywood Casino 400. I believe it's in, is that Kansas? Could be wrong.
Wait. Okay, tell me this doesn't make any sense. Hollywood Casino. So maybe you think Hollywood or Las Vegas, and it's in Kansas?
Yeah, so maybe, I think it's Kansas.
Okay. All right.
And, I mean, maybe there's a casino out there called Hollywood. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So last week you did well. You got a guy in the top 5. You actually won last week. I am going Danny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin.
You're gonna ride the Hamlin?
I'm going Hamlin. I'm going to Denny's for breakfast. So one of the two.
It's probably going to breakfast because he's not going to win. No, he's not going to finish.
What do you got?
I got Chase Elliott.
All right. I'm writing that down. Excuse me.
I got a 1 race streak going.
1 race. Let's see how you do. All right. So if you have been tuning in, we had our ticker going, all the different ways to follow us at Sports Unfolded, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, so many different ways to.
Maybe this will help you.
If you'd like to sponsor the show, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. Follow us on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We are live every Friday night, 6 p.m. We are fan interactive. We will continue to let our fans join in. We post polls on all our websites, so check those out as well. Ron, as we normally do, we end our show with a final thought. I am first this week, so I'll give you my final thought. My final thought is actually on Duke volleyball player Rachel Richardson. And there was some allegations of racial slurs from the BYU student section. She went out, told some coaches after the game. There was a big media circus around it. And it's saddening when it turns out that it was false, that it didn't happen. And I'm not condoning anybody using that kind of language towards another human being. But this is why sometimes these things happen, because even when there isn't anything happening, there's these allegations that aren't true that just continue to put stains on everything. And then people don't believe it when it actually does because we don't know. They need to stop. And they need to start to think about the ramifications of what you're saying before you do it, because that's a very serious allegation. In this country, we already have enough racial tension that divides a lot of this country, and we don't need people just using it as a platform because your team was losing or something happened. It's unacceptable. It should never be used in a sporting event in that fashion. If it is used, it should be brought to attention, and that person should never be allowed back in this stadium. But don't just use it to try to prove a point to somebody. If you're playing poorly, I heard something. That's not how this is supposed to work. They have the same responsibilities as anybody else to treat it the same way. You shouldn't be called those racial slurs, and you shouldn't make accusations that aren't true. So I was a little disappointed that once they investigated, it came out that way. And hopefully she gets some kind of, reprimand for it, because they were about to ban the entire student section at BYU because of that. So in all fairness, she should be suspended for some games as well for making false allegations. That's my final thought.
Very good. Very well said. My final thought goes to, we'll just say we've already lost one all-time great female athlete this year in Serena Williams in tennis, as she's retiring. Well, Sue Bird just played her final game this past week, and through all of the the history of WNBA, Sue Bird right now is on that Mount Rushmore. And, look, you can debate who's going to be with her. I have my three others, but this is for Sue Bird right now. She's on the Mount Rushmore. She's had such a great career, and I hope the NBA has a Seattle team coming in, and I hope Sue Bird gets to be part of that somehow.
That would be really cool.
So, Sue Bird, thank you for a great career and some great basketball. And even on the way out, she went down playing.
Yeah, agreed.
And one of the best ever in either league.
Yes, agreed. Very well said. Very well said. So, want to thank you for your time today. We also did want to give our condolences to Great Britain, England.
No music.
Queen Elizabeth has passed away, so we give our condolences out to everybody that watches us over there in the UK. Appreciate the support, and obviously our condolences for your loss. Ron, always a pleasure, my friend. We'll do a hockey show this week. So if you like to tune in to Sports Unfolded on YouTube, we will break down some hockey, my hockey guru there. But it's been a pleasure tonight. You got me to swear for the first time on the show, so great job.
Got a feeling it's not going to be the last.
It may not be at some point. But I want to thank everybody that joined live, everybody that's going to watch us afterwards. Check us out. Again, follow us live. We'd love to get some fan interaction. Manny, thank you, as always. One of our best number one fans. We appreciate you, Manny, in joining us every week. Ron, you take care. Have a great night. And all we ask for in this world is some peace.
Have a good night, everybody.